Hello and welcome back to Credible Perspectives. This is season 2, episode 4 of this series where we discuss everything to do with money and taxation. We're joined today by Miss Christine Gathiuni. I hope I got that correct.
Correct.
Thank you. Who is the founder of NewDay Financial Planners and is very passionate about women accessing funding and just making sure that their businesses scale. So karibu sana, and thank you so much for honoring our invite.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Karibu. Let's begin from NewDay. What is the origin of NewDay?
NewDay is, I've been in financial planning for the last 19 years. And what happens is everyone is looking forward to a better future, a financially free future, a new day. So hence the name.
The name NewDay.
Yeah.
Right. So why women specifically? Why are you so passionate about women?
Well, I actually am passionate about everyone, even teenagers. But I have been tending to draw my skills and my resources towards women just because I'm also a woman, but also because I've seen all the challenges that women face, lack of information, lack of credit, and so many things. So I am highly involved in very many forums for women.
Okay.
Yes.
So what makes women entrepreneurs struggle with accessing some of these things that you speak of?
Okay. So one is lack of financial literacy, lack of boldness. As we know, men are always more bold when it comes to even asking for help. Because what happens is you start from your friends and family. And then you go to your SACCO or your bank, right, for access to credit and things like that. So men are a little bit more forthright with those things, whereas women are a little bit more timid. So lack of financial literacy, lack of understanding all the resources available to them. There are different resources beyond the banks. There are other funds that they can access. So that would be one reason. Then not having accurate financial records, because creditworthiness has to come from keeping solid financial records. So those are some of the reasons why women seem to lag.
Is it a lack of information? Is it fear? Are all these things related? What is it?
They are all related. Even when it comes to bad credit, for example, a lot of women entrepreneurs do not follow up with bad debt. Like if they've loaned out or given out services or products and they aren't paid, they tend to let it just pass or slide. So it's a combination of all these things and being a little bit more passive. Yes.
And how does it affect their businesses when it comes to taxation? Yeah.
As I said, literacy, because also they don't know how much to pay in tax. Everyone is afraid of the tax man, very unpopular. But I always recommend female entrepreneurs to just look for an agent, a tax agent, to help them audit their records and be able to pay their taxes on time and to pay the correct taxes. Yes, so that they don't get fines the next year.
Okay. And does it affect their credibility when it comes to looking for funders and investors?
Exactly, because all these funders, even angel investors, will be looking at your tax certificates and up-to-date tax certificates. Even when it comes to expansion, when you look for partners to expand your business, they want to see those. So if you haven't kept up to date, it will hold you back, and it can make a potential investor pull back or pull out of the whole partnership. Yeah, proposed partnership.
Have you seen a situation or a scenario or a success story where you've worked with women or a woman who's moved from an unstructured kind of business to a properly structured one and ended up having proper investors come into place?
Yes. I did some work in 2020 during the lockdown, but we were still working with the Chamber of Commerce. And there's a women in business arm of that. So yes, we had a number of trainings, and some of these ladies wanted that personal mentorship in their businesses. So yes, a couple of them, stayed on board And we ended up walking the journey with them until finally they could get angel investors.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Fantastic. What are some of the structures and some of the things they need to put in place to make sure that their systems are working?
Okay. So the biggest problem that all entrepreneurs have is that they think that profit all belongs to them. So they imagine that whenever they make profit, it's their salary. So separating themselves from the business, that's the first thing.
Okay.
And then actually draw a salary out of the profit. That can take a number of years. So they need to be patient to be able to do that. You might have to have another source of income before your business can give you a proper salary. So separating your business from yourself, that's one. The record keeping. So every transaction, incoming transaction, coming income, and then every expense at the same time. So having that accurate tracking will help you structure the business, see what you actually make. It will even see in the marketing area how much it takes when you market, how it converts into an actual client, and then you know the profit from it. So when you keep those records, you are able to see, to get a real snapshot of your business. Yes.
Let's talk a bit about the concept of drawing a salary from profit. I know, like you said, why should we do that? Why? Nimefanya kazi, I can eat the profit. Why should I do it?
Because the business is an entity outside of yourself, right? So the idea is a business should ideally outlive you, and you should have successors for your business. However, you can also sell a thriving business at its peak. But the idea is it's not you. So you have to have that separation of personal and the business. And even when it comes to valuing your business, your input is very valuable. Being the founder, being the CEO, having the vision. So there's a value to that. So even if you value your business, you'll value yourself as well. You'll value your ideas, your vision, what you've achieved so far, your own personal brand, how it adds to the business. And that's why when you even sell that business, you even qualify and quantify your input as a separate entity. But we have to separate. We cannot eat all the profit.
Is there a science to the valuing yourself and valuing your business? And
Yes. It starts with, of course, the bottom line of how much the business has brought in, the networks of the business, the clients of the business, the number of years the business has been in existence, where the business is located. All these things add value. So you as an individual, if, for example, you have some technical expertise that is part of growing that business, we value that technical expertise. We will value your own, inroads, everything that you've done so far, your own experience, personal experience, because before you started the business, you had some personal experience. So all those things are the science.
Okay. So now I've gone through the whole process. I've valued my business. I've managed to not eat my entire profit. I've brought on board people to support the business. How do I go after the money?
As in for investors?
Yes.
So the first thing is, what is your why? Why are you getting investors? Is it an issue of supply that you need to supply a huge invoice, and that's why you need investors to come on board? Your market has to drive that investment. For any investor, they are going to look at the market behind it. Even if it's a brilliant idea that its time has come, if the market isn't ready, then an investor will not be interested in that investment. So you look at what is driving, you look at the projected income, and then you go after the money based on that. And then you also look for strategic partners. You look for partners that not just bring the money, but they have other resources or networks as well, or other, if it's technical or any other way they can add to grow the business. So those are some of the things you do. And then, like you said, when you've got all those structures in place, when you've done your taxes well, you have shown that the business is quite big and has potential to grow, Then you put all that into a pitch deck, which you have professionals who can help you do that. And then now you're ready to meet these angel investors. Now, unfortunately, here in Africa, sometimes what works, unfortunately, is the face that goes ahead to pitch. So you have to choose. Unfortunately, the appearance matters.
Yeah.
And if you're going to look into the foreign investors, sometimes you have to have a foreign face do the pitch. Unfortunately, it's just how it goes. I've worked so much with venture capitalists that have seen this happen. Even people who are into, say, sustainability projects or waste projects, things like that, solar projects. That's kind of what works. I'm not saying that we can't just do it our way, but I'm just letting you know that some of these things affect how we get these angel investors on board.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other things apart from, say, skin color, unfortunately, as you've mentioned, I know you were trying to avoid it, but here we are. It is a fact. But apart from that, what else makes women be scared to go after the big monies?
It's some of that is like a mass fear or mass people's other people's experiences becomes like, okay, what you are expecting. So rather than go by the potential you have and the kind of growth that you have, you're looking at what other businesses have done and what your fellow ladies are doing. And then you want to shrink to their level rather than just go boldly with your own business ideas and see, how much or how far you can go. Gentlemen will go out and ask for $20 million very comfortably, even if their business ideas aren't that great.
Yeah.
But ladies tend to be a little bit more cautious. Yes. That works in the favor of repayments. When you've taken the credit or taken loans, women always outperform men in repayments. Yeah, it's well known. It's a science. Whether it's a SACCO, whether it's a bank, women will always be better at repayments. Okay, I don't know what happens in the future, but for now, that is how it has been. So those are some of the dynamics.
So how do we overcome some of these fears?
We just have to keep there's the internal self-growth, but also you have to surround yourself with women who are bold, who are making these strides, be mentored by them. It's always good to be in a group of women who have similar interests and values, even in business. So the solo walk isn't as great. Go with others, grow with others, have mentees who have been in business longer than you, who have actually achieved getting those angel investors, and just have that long-term kind of mentorship. That really works. Okay. That really works.
You're very big on mentorship. You've mentioned it a couple of times.
It's what works.
It's what works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try and move on to now tax conversations a bit. When coming up or when advising some of these institutions and companies and entrepreneurs to structure themselves in a way that's good for investors or appeals to the investors, what tax obligation should they be looking out for?
So, different industries pay tax in different ways. And as you know, some of these policies change all the time. So I am not actually a tax expert. I also use tax experts. So I would say be very personalized. Don't get blanket information. Have your tax agent understand your business. Also understand the other activities you have in your business. If you have CSR activities, for example, some of these you can get reliefs on. Some of the pensions, if you have a large company, you get reliefs on. So I would say get your tax person to go through your personalized business structure, and then you'll be able to apply and pay the appropriate taxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is now where you tell us nice stories. What have you worked with any women-led businesses that transitioned from informal, then you helped them create the structures and then helped them get the funders and are now successful in in Africa, because you mentioned you're not just in Kenya, you're across the globe, or at least Africa, Pan-African.
Yeah. Definitely, like I said, when I was doing this work in 2020, because 2020 seemed to be very busy in that area, a lot of ladies, even from outside of Nairobi, they came forth and they wanted that kind of one-on-one accountability partner for their businesses. So yes, I have success stories. I have even in agribusiness, success stories in agribusiness whereby the person was really just starting out and went into the bee, I think it's called apiary, and then went into rabbit farming at the same time with mentorship, with experts. And eventually she expanded and now actually runs her own kind of mentorship school for other agripreneurs. Yes.
What sectors are investors looking into in this country especially?
Now we have this climate action kind of trend. Yeah. So anything in climate will attract investors. Anything that is in solar will also attract investors. But even agribusiness in general will also attract investors, because what is happening now is the West is realizing that they don't have a lot of agriculture, or rather they don't consume their own produce. They get it from here. So they're actually looking to come here and make those partnerships so that they can secure their own food futures. So those are the areas I would say that are really key right now.
Okay, so just mostly climate change, solar, and agriculture.
Agriculture.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
What's exciting in your sector? What are we looking forward in the sector?
In the finance sector, the world is I want to say shrinking in a way, because now we have access to so much information and resources. So what is exciting is that we have relationships with business people in other parts of the world, and we are able to get a lot of alignment in so many ways, and get a lot of education, exchanging of ideas, partnerships, because of the fact that now we can talk to anyone, anywhere. Even through social media, people are actually using even social media to get these partnerships and things like that. So that's very exciting. There are global entities or global professional bodies you can join. And based on that, you're able to also get mentors from those countries as well, all over the world, from Asia to Europe and the rest. So that is what is very exciting, that now as the world shrinks, we can also grow our businesses and have partners, but we can also get, investors from here who want to now even take our investments out. So that's very exciting, that we have grown to the point where we have even settled all our immediate needs, and now we are even investing out there too. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how do you've spoken about information.
Yes.
And the world is shrinking to some extent because there's quite a bit of information out there.
Yes.
How are we able to filter out what's real, true information versus misinformation, disinformation, noise? Yeah. How do
you look at the background of whoever you are, looking at, following on these sites and all that? You look at the experience. You can filter by seeing what is on the ground for this person who you're speaking to, or who is actually leading in their area. Whoever is a specialist. So I would say how you would know is you look at their background, you look at their expertise and years of experience, how many people they've helped. What happens is the best way to understand this is referral basis. So you look at the referrals or references of these people, because you'll always have references. I personally, I don't actually go look out for clients. Clients come by referral. And because of that, they understand what I do and they understand what to expect of my services. So in the same way, when you go out and look for these, if for those who you actually want to pay for that mentorship or for those partnerships, look at their years of experience, expertise, and referrals. Yes.
All right. Do you have a pool of women or business owners where people can access this mentorship, people can work together? Seeing as you're very passionate about that, is that something you've already created?
It's not it's kind of unstructured, but what happens is when you reach out to me, I freely share my networks.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Even for ladies who are just starting out, they've left employment, they just want to get into entrepreneurship. And as you can see with the economy, a lot of people are actually even losing their jobs and getting into business. So if you reach out to me, I share my mentors, because I have experts in every of these fields.
Yeah.
So I share.
Okay.
I share. So it's not structured, but yeah, if you come to me, I can share.
All right. And where do we find you?
So I am on LinkedIn. That's where I'm most active.
Okay.
I do have my Facebook and my IG, but those are my personal pages. So LinkedIn is where you'll find information on me as a financial expert. Yes, that's where you'll find me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much once again for joining us today.
You're welcome.
I think we have exhausted the conversation for now, but we hope to find you and see you at the East Africa Tax Summit that's coming up.
I am definitely going to attend.
Fantastic.
Looking forward to it.
Karibu sana.
Yes.
Thank you once again for joining us. You've heard it from here. If you want to go far, go with people. If you want to go fast, go alone, which is something she's very passionate about. And you can find this and more conversations in the upcoming summit that we have mentioned right here, details of which will be right below the page. So asanteni sana and see you next time.